Hey everyone, today we're going to have a look at how to play the outro solo to Pigs by David Gilmour and Pink Floyd. The solo that starts at about the 9-minute 30-second mark of the track and continues until fade out. Now, there are talkbox fill lines early in the track wherein he makes the guitar squeal like a pig, and it's awfully goddamn cool, but as I don't have a talkbox, and most likely neither do you, I've decided that we're going to stick strictly to the outro solo in this lesson. This solo in particular is David Gilmour at his heaviest and most aggressive, and I am hard-pressed to think of another Gilmour solo with this much edge and furiosity to it. It's also great fun to play. So let's learn how to play it, shall we? Let's close in here a little bit on the fretboard, have a look at the solo to Pigs. But first up, we're in standard tuning with this one, working in the key of E minor, using the E natural minor scale. It's a fairly loosely played solo with lots of double stops and unison bend work, so at times it doesn't have the clarity of notes we normally come to expect from David Gilmour. So at times we'll be more or less approximating what he's doing here in this solo, as he gets pretty lost in the mix a number of times as well throughout the track. Really difficult to pick apart exactly what he's doing, but we'll give it our best shot. So let's begin with a playthrough of the solo, and then we'll dig into how to play it. Fades out at that point. And that's pretty much how you play that one. So let's dig into this one, show you guys how it's done. Alright, so this one starts with a whole whack of unison bends right here at the 15th fret of the B string and the 12th fret of the high E in the E minor kind of pentatonic box here. Bending the 15th fret of the B string, but not the E. So you're kind of bending that note up to but you're, you know, it's a unison bend, kind of a double stop unison bend. And you're going to get a lot of dissonance with this, you know, it's just part and parcel with what a unison bend is, you know, because you can get it to right to pitch sometimes, but anyway, but like I said, the timing of this is really messed up with, I think it's just kind of random, but here's what he's doing. It's kind of like 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then he moves it up 2 spots to that position there. So that's the unison bend right there. Let's go through that timing wise one more time. And every time, like I say, you got that note up there. If you're that bend, you're giving it a little bit of a shake. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Move it up and do 3 more right there on the 17 of the B and the 14 of the high E. So that's the unison bend opening, and then we're into this. That's a big old bend there, step and a half. So we're sliding into the 12th fret of the B string and then catching the 15th fret of the high E. And then you're going to do the exact same thing except not slide this time. And then you're going to catch the 15 again one last time and then give it a full step bend. And when you get it up there, you're going to give it some vibrato. And now you're going to slide into 16 of the G, and then quickly jump from 15 onto 17 of the high E. And then pick it again and give it a full step bend. And then go 17 natural note, up to 19, step and a half. With vibrato. I'm not quite getting the sustain out of my little amp here, and you know, I don't have a whole lot of volume going on here, but that whole lick. Into this. Kind of just a little scale run. And that's all on the E, in right down the natural minor. So 19 to 17, then pull off 17 to 15. Back onto 17. Little bend release at 17, off to 15, off to 14. And then just like a little scale run. Up to the 17 to the 15 of the B. And now we've got a little bit of legato work. Pulling off all in one motion, 17 to 15 to 13 to 12. And then pull off 15 to 13 to 12 again. And then catch the 14 of the G. And then a little trill between 12, 13, back to 12, and then catch the 14 again. And then back to the 12 of the B, and then back to the 14 of the G for a little bend release. So, from the beginning, but not the unison bends. And then we're into this. Some double stop work there. 12 to 14 of the G, and then right into a double stop bend on the 14th fret of the G and the B. Pull it off to the double stop at 12, back to the double stop at 14, back to 12, finish up on the 14 of the D. And now we're into this. So you're getting your pinky down here on the 15th of the B, and then grabbing the 14 of the G for some unison bends. You don't have to pick each one. You can just release and rebend, and then you can repick. Pull it off to 14 and do that same lick that we just did. Little double stop, 14 to 12, finish on the 14 of the D string. So And then we're just going to do some little pull-offs. 14 to 12, D. 14, 12, 10 of the A. And then 12, 10, finishing on the root note there at the 12th fret of the low E. So that whole thing put together. And then kind of slide out of that. And then we're into this lovely little section. That little section there. So that starts, he's grabbing the 2nd fret of the G string, giving it some bends, picking it, just bend releases, and then finally pulling it off to open, and then grabbing the 2 of the D string into this. So we're sliding in to the 4th fret of the G string, catching the 3rd fret of the high E, and then just going back and forth 3 times. And then moving it up to the 5s, and doing the exact same thing. And then sliding into the 12th fret of the B and the high E. And then go B, E, B. So from the bend. And that's that lick. And then so when you slide into that 12 and go B, E, B, and then you're going to start immediately into that. And I think he does it like 4 times, pulling off 15 to 12 of the high E, and then catching the 12 of the B. And getting this kind of circular thing going. And then after about 4 times doing that, it's going to grab the 15th fret of the E string and give it a full step bend. Into this. So 15 to 14, little half step bend release. On to the 15 of the B for a full step bend, and then catch the 12 of the high E. And then into another unison bend in the original position that we started the solo. And then you're going to pull off 15 to 12, up to 14, and then back to 12 of the B. And then back to 14 for a full step bend of the G string. So from here. And you know, when you get that up there, of course, vibrato, your friend. And then we're going to go right into that little scale run. Just right up the pentatonic. Finishing up 14, 12, 10. And how that all fits together. And that leads us into this. Double stop on the G, B string at the 12th fret. Pull off 14 to 12 of the D and catch the 14 of the A. And then back to the double stop on the G, B. And then 2 double stops at 14. And then one more time, give it a little bend release. And then back off to the the 12th fret double stop. And then right into a big full step bend at the 15th fret of the B string. Maybe a double bend there. So how that kind of fits in from here. And then, so you're going to grab that 15. I think you're going to bend it like 3 or 4 times. And then finally release it off to 12 and then back onto 15. And then we're into this lovely little section. Right, it's like a little D shape here. 14, 15, 14. And I think he repeats that like 4 times. And then the 4th time he goes back up to the 14, he's going to go into a bend. And then he's going to go into that lick from the bend. So he's rolling here on the 14s. And from there, he's going to go back into another unison bend here. Pinky on 15 of the B, and your ring finger on 14 of the G. And he's just going to let this one ring. And then he's finally, after he lets that sit up there for a few measures, he's going to release it off to the double stop at the 12s. And then he's going to play a little bit right in that the little 12-14 box coming out of that. And then maybe roll down the scale there. And then down there, and the solo's almost over at this point. And then he gets into these. And that's just double stops at the 12. It's catching on maybe a little bit of the D string as well. D, G, B. Little mutes, you know. And that goes on for a number of bars. And then just as the song's fading out, he's back into this. Pulling off 15 to 12, catching the 12 of the B. And that just continues on until fade out. And that, my friends, is the end of the solo. And that is how you play the outro solo to Pigs. I certainly hope that helped you out. Were you looking to learn this great classic David Gilmour solo here during Gilmour month on my channel? Be sure to check out my performance over backing track for this one down below in the description box. And that's it for now, I guess. Hope you're well out there in your little guitar corner of the world. And we'll see you next time. Cheers.